Thank you. Good morning and welcome to our service. My name is Reverend James Parker. We have a lot to cover today, so I'm going to jump right into it. My lesson title today is Self-Transcendence, the Path to Freedom. Friends, there's no doubt that many of us are currently going through a dark time, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and globally. The challenges, difficulties, sickness, divisiveness, life-changing and historic actions and events we are currently facing seem insurmountable. In some cases, we are turning on each other and our fellow man out of frustration, fatigue, or the battle going on within us. Why? Because we have lost sight of our true essence, light, Christ's nature, and higher purpose. Without knowing it or being conscious of our behavior, some of us are allowing our ego to take the lead, where we are no longer discerning the truth, personally, collectively, or universally. Must I remind you that you are spirit, a divine being in the mind of God? Today's lesson, if you choose to accept it, is aimed at bringing you into a new level of comfort, inspiration, understanding, and freedom, where you recognize something greater than yourself and become lifted up or rise above your current conditions and thoughts. Self-transcendence is the ingredient necessary to turn your negative thoughts and feelings about yourself, others, and the world into new measures of personal growth, self-actualization, wisdom, prosperity, peace of mind, and also open the way for miracles to occur in your life. In the Message Bible, in the book of 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 20, it says, "The Spirit is the one light you have in a dark time." The Spirit is the one light you have. So often in a dark time, we look for a way to be delivered from our current challenges. We look for a fix, when in fact we should all be looking for inspiration and higher purpose within us. When we strive for greater inspiration and purpose, we subdue or triumph over our dark times, difficulties, past and present conditions. For years, I've used a prayer called the Transcendental Treatment. In it, it says, "You are unfettered, unbound, triumphant, glorious, free." Although I had been using this prayer for years, I was clueless to the fact that I was practicing self-transcendence. I only knew that this prayer worked, especially when I was feeling uncomfortable, physically sick, weak, or in a bad space, or when I found myself criticizing or judging myself or others, or when I was facing an important exam or test. Self-transcendence is a type of treatment that is spiritually rooted and aimed to help individuals reach an inner sense of peace. It makes us look at our part in the larger scheme of things so that we can transcend our disappointments, troubles, and other shortcomings or hardships. Self-transcendence sits at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow said, "Transcendence refers to the very highest and most holistic levels of human consciousness." He said, "It brings the individual what he termed peak experiences in which they transcend their own personal concerns and see from a higher perspective, where the individual can experience strong positive emotions like joy, peace, love, inspiration, forgiveness, hope, and a well-developed sense of awareness." Although people may view self-transcendence in ways that vary based on their own beliefs, the idea behind it is still the same. Self-transcendence is about transcending or rising above the self and relating to that which is greater than the self. Simply put, you are allowing something greater than yourself to transcend or overcome your negative thoughts and feelings. That which is greater than the self can be a range of things: spirituality, nature, God's mind, the universe, divine power, cosmic energy, the Christ, the light, It doesn't matter what the greater thing is, only that there is something greater than the self bringing you power and sustainability in the moment. In the book of John, chapter 3, verse 14, it says, "As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up." The Son of Man is that in us which discerns the difference between truth and error. When we get this understanding, we are in a position to free our mind and soul from sin or missing the mark, and our body from dis-ease. It means giving up the old self so that something greater can come forth. It means giving up the old self so that something greater can come forth. A drama began with the main character complaining to his best friend in prison on the day of their release. "My old man beat the hell out of me when I was only a little kid. My mom only knows how to scold me. I was bullied at school. I was then framed for a crime I did not commit and sent to jail for 16 years. Now I have terminal cancer with only a few months left to live. Why me? Why am I so unlucky? Why is the world so unfair and so cruel? Life has no meaning. I'm dying to die because life sucks." His best friend replied with a challenge to his self-pity and self-destructive tendencies. "What kind of son are you?" he said. "Your mother has suffered for 16 years while you were in jail. Now that you are out of jail, don't you think that you should make it up to her by taking care of her and making her life easier? Besides, what kind of man are you? Are you going to let the murderer who framed you go free and hurt more innocent people? Don't you have the responsibility to gather evidence to bring the murderer to justice? Finally, your years in jail were not all bad. It has changed your life and kept you away from trouble. You have earned all kinds of technical certificates and become a model prisoner." Basically, his friend was telling him, yes, it's going to be tough, but you need to transcend your negative thoughts and rise to the challenge and fulfill your responsibility in order to make the remaining of your life worthwhile. The friend didn't lack empathy. He was actually a guardian angel with the task of guiding and protecting the central character. At the end of the drama, he was able to rescue him from self-destruction and empower him to live happily and productively while carrying out his responsibilities. By knowing that every day, demonstrating and knowing every day that life is a miracle. Amy Harmon said, "We spend our lives complicating what we would do better to accept, because in acceptance we put our energies into transcendence." Friends, do you ever feel bound by what you have been or done? Bound by your past? Bound by lack and limitation? Bound by sickness and weakness? Bound by the picture you have created of yourself in your own mind and in the minds of others? Bound by your story? You can transcend those thoughts and beliefs. You can be free. You can be free from feelings of insecurity, from feelings of inferiority. You can be free from moodiness, hostility, anxiety, or depression. You can be free from dependence or cravings from anything in the outer world. You can be free from negativity and ego thoughts. You can let go of the belief that something or someone is against you. You can transcend. You can be lifted up. When you self-transcend and let go of limiting and binding thoughts, you rise above the conditions. You find that people, places, things, and circumstances no longer have power over you. Kilroy Oldster said, "It is essential to our health and happiness that we dedicate ourselves to some kind of mission or purpose that transcends the mundane hustle and bustle of daily living." Do you think of freedom as a far distant, almost impossible dream? Do you ever say, "Someday I'll be free to do the things I long to do"? Someday I'll be free from pressures and responsibilities. Someday I'll be free to enjoy life. Does the freedom you hope for seem to elude you? The freedom to be all that God created you to be is yours, not someday, but now. Do not put off your freedom by thinking that you can be free only if conditions change, or if some person changes, or by thinking that you cannot be free till the children are grown, or the bills are paid, or your feelings change about others. If you long to be free, become inspired. Let go of the negativity or your need to be right. Become mature spiritually, responsible for the things that show up in your own life, and think about the idea of having freedom now. That means freedom from your lesser self. Let's take a moment, centering ourselves, turning away from all that is around you. Become still. Listen and receive the truth of your being as I pray over you a transcendental treatment. As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. Beloved of God, greetings. In my integrity within me, where I know and see as God, I know and see you. Oh, beloved, to be free, wise, and immortal. I see you unfettered and unbound, triumphant, glorious, splendid. I see you unweighted by human thought of limitation, unweighted by matter. I see you unbound, undiseased, buoyant. I see you strong, mighty, forceful, powerful, divine. I see your eye lit with fire from on high. I see your tongue tipped with celestial instructions. I behold you bright, joyous. I see you victorious, undaunted. I see you spotless, beautiful. I see you deathless, abiding. I see you flawless, fearless, transcending yourself and all your affairs, independent. I see you smiling, sound, sane, strong. I see you to be the strong son or daughter of God, brother or sister of Jesus Christ, and joint heir of the Father to the kingdom. I see you alive with God and upheld by his free spirit forever. All the world sees you as I see you, now and evermore. And so it is. In the book, The Untethered Soul, it says, only you can take inner freedom away from yourself or give it to yourself. Nobody else can. Only you can take inner freedom away from yourself or give it to yourself. Nobody else can. Friends, what do you want to be? What do you want to express? What do you envision for yourself in your life? You have the freedom to do and be it now. You have the power through the Spirit of God in you to get through the dark time and be all that you have longed for. You have the freedom to grow, to unfold, to express the God qualities within you. You have the freedom to live life effectively. You are not bound by anything, any person, any situation. You are freer than you think. Step out in this freedom today. Michael Singer says, there is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind, you are the one who hears it. You are not the voice of the mind, you are the one who hears it. Let go of the thoughts and beliefs that have kept you in bondage, or have made you fearful of trying, or that allows your inner ego access to your peace of mind. Become responsible for your own thoughts, feelings, actions, and be lifted up. Recognize today that there is nothing or no one against you. Remind yourself that the Spirit is the light you have in dark times. Rise above the voices of your mind of there being limitations in your life. Transcend all that has seemed to muddle you, to stand in your way, all that has frustrated you or made you unhappy. Meditate on the idea that there is a spirit in you that is unfettered, unbound, triumphant, splendid, glorious, and free. As you hold to the realization that there's a spirit in you that transcends all things, you will be inspired. The inner freedom you feel will sustain and uphold you as you go about the activities of a daily living. You will feel free. You will be free. For you are spirit, unfettered, unbound, unlimited, unaffected by circumstances, all wise, all loving, all powerful, all inspiring. Friends, take today. Transcend from those negative thoughts and feelings. Come forth in your spiritual nature, knowing that you are empowered by God, something greater than yourself, and live today fully prosperous and in a loving experience. Are you willing to do this with me today? Well, thank you all, and God bless you.